So new listings are up 83% from last year. Does that mean that we're getting a little bit more into a balanced market, or are we still in a seller's market? Hang on, I'll tell you.
For 20 years, I've been dedicating my best efforts to helping my clients get the most for their homes in the shortest amount of time. In 20 years, I've learned a lot and I'm learning more. Get ready to share with me. Welcome to the Pete DeYoung Show.
So yes, listings are up 83% from last year, but we have to keep in mind last year was the beginning of COVID, so things really nosedived in March, April last year. There was very little activity going on. So yes, listings are up 83.5% from last year, but here's a more stunning number. Sales, March versus March last year, were up, get this, 147.3%. So listings are up 83.5%. Sales are up 147%, almost 150%. But again, keep in mind, last year was not was the beginning of COVID. Things really sunk to unbelievable lows at the time. Now, what we really want to compare our market to is 2014, because we're all pretty excited about the number of sales and the number of or where prices are going and that kind of thing. So what we want to do is we want to keep things, we want to have a benchmark. And the benchmark we're using is 2014, because that was kind of the last good year we had in terms of real estate in Calgary. That's before the oil prices started to dive and stuff like that started to happen. So compared to 2014, sales are not quite what they were. Sales prices were not quite what they were. And inventory is not as low as it was in 2014. I think it was March or April of 2014 that we actually had like about a 75% absorption rate. So that was a really good time, spring of 2014. So we're not quite hitting new highs or new records yet in Calgary, but we're certainly seeing some upward momentum in terms of pricing and in terms of sales and those things. So what we're seeing is a 6.5% increase over all the residential real estate markets, led mostly by detached homes, of course. So detached homes are really driving this. We're up 8% or 7.9% from last year March. Now, of course, again, last year March was a particularly bad month, but still an 8% year-over-year increase is good, and we're going to cheer that on, I guess, if we're sellers. In terms of detached homes, we're seeing a 5.6% increase in price. So detached prices are now at $516. Attached, semi-detached homes are at $410,000. Row houses or townhouses, they went up about 2.8%. So they're now at $288,800 in terms of their average price. And apartments even went up. This is good news. Apartments have really been struggling over the last 4 or 5 years in particular. We hadn't seen any increases. Last month, February, we saw the first price increase in apartments in a long time. And in March of this year, we saw prices go up 3.1%. So that's good news. And it also means that some of that market is being absorbed. So we had way too much inventory in some of those markets at one time, and which were really holding the prices down. We're keeping the prices down, but now that inventory is starting to get burned up a little bit, we're starting to see some price increases, which is good news. In terms of where we're seeing the biggest price increases, congratulations to the north central part of Calgary. Some of the newer areas, especially up in Simons Valley and in those kind of areas, they saw almost a 10%, 9.4% increase in prices in the north central area. The other big mover was in the deep south. So it was the deep south and the far north that increased the most. The deep southeast, again, there's a lot of newer areas in there, and they went up 8.6% in March over March last year. Otherwise, it's pretty even. Most other areas came up 5 or 6%. Northeast came up 6%. The Calgary East, which would include like everything from Dover to Forest Lawn to Applewood and stuff, they went up 6%. Downtown only went up 4.3%, but that's again a reflection of the number of condos down there. And on the west side, they came up almost 5% as well. So right now, the highest average price is still on the west side at $537.2, and the lowest is Calgary East, which, like I said, was Erin Woods, Dover, Forest Lawn, Forest Heights, that kind of thing. They went up 6% to 309,800. As I always say, every market is unique. If you want to know what the value of your house is doing, just get in touch with me. My cell number is at the end of this video. Otherwise, you're always welcome to email me, text me, call me, whatever. I'm happy to chat anytime. And if you tell me that, look, I've got a 2-story in Strathcona Park, I can give you a little better idea as to what that's worth compared to, these general numbers. Or if you say I've got a 2-bedroom condo in Cranston, whatever, just call me. I'm happy to help out. I love giving out free advice, and I always love chatting real estate anyway. So yeah, give me a call anytime. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have at all about this crazy real estate market. All right, thanks so much.